Hey, everybody. Good evening to you. It's Friday evening. It's just about 6 p.m. here on the Weather Spot. That's what I have for good news. It's Friday. It's Friday night, right? That's always good. So we have some showers and thunderstorms that have worked their way through our southern areas. Some people hearing thunder to kick things off for your holiday weekend. No big surprise, but let's go ahead and look at radar, see exactly what's going on. First things first, flood watch is out. So I made that pop up here in the green, the bold green there, highlighting all the counties under a flood watch for quite some time. I think this goes from tonight, 7 p.m. this evening, all the way through Monday evening for the counties highlighted in green. So just kind of notice the theme with me. Mostly, all south, except a little piece, all south of I-70, right? So the bottom line is there's actually more rain coming. The rain amounts have crept up. That's what I'm going to show you on the forecast this evening. But the area has continued to sag a little bit south that I would call the bullseye that's going to get most of the precipitation. So some people on the very north edge of our forecast area have actually going to see a decrease, but down to the south, not so much. So let's take a look at how things are starting off this evening. I'm down around Stockton right now, headed over towards 13 Highway. Showers with a little bit of a thunderstorm in there on you guys just to the north of Dadeville, looks like to me. Headed over towards Bolivar. We'll work back over here towards the Kansas side in Pittsburgh. Things are just off to the north of you right now. Looking along 160 Highway at Minden Means has a thunderstorm right now. Then we're going to go up here to Fort Scott. Heads up Fort Scott, although I think this might miss you just a little bit to the south, at least the heaviest of it. There's a good thunderstorm right now south of Uniontown going down 3 Highway here in your neighborhood. So we'll just go out regionally and I'll show you what has happened over the last little bit. There's the radar looping for you. That's going to be the theme for the whole weekend, right? West to east moving storms. So let's go ahead and talk about severe weather outlooks first. Severe weather outlook for today actually covers tonight. Here it is. So what I'm talking about is a cluster of storms I'm going to show you in just a minute as I take a look at where we're going. They're going to pop up out in central Kansas or west central Kansas this evening. We're going to keep an eye on those as they come across overnight. So there it is. There's your reminder to have ways that you can receive weather alerts overnight, especially. And I'm looking at the very early hours of tomorrow. So tomorrow, and by the way, severe wind outlook covering for tonight and tomorrow morning makes me talk about these storms and the damage that they're going to do. I think we're talking about predominantly a strong damaging wind threat and heavy downpours. Here's the severe weather outlook for tomorrow, Saturday, May 24th. And this is really just covering the overnight hours, right? We're starting off with today's outlook, and it's really talking about tonight. Here's what may be left come daylight hours tomorrow, picking up just the corner down here in Kansas and down here around Joplin and points to the south for Saturday. So let's go ahead and take a look at model data, see exactly where we're going. There it is. So like I say, this is picking up tonight at about 10 o'clock out here along I-70, right, from Colby all the way to Hayes. And we're just going to scoot this along, moving to the east, but also got a little bit of a south track to it as well, right? So Wichita, heads up to you folks. This is about 4 a.m. We can back that up and see about 3 up in Hutchinson, about 2 out in Great Bend. So 2, 3, 4 a.m. These are some strong thunderstorms. These will be robust. We'll have to see. Could be anything. Could just be strong storms. Look for a special weather statement, possibly with some small hail in it and with those heavy downpours, or it is that time of year. Instability waxes and wanes, and we could have severe warnings. I'm looking at this organization possible now up until about 5, 6 a.m., right? So I'm looking at areas like Winfield, Howard, coming over here towards Sedan before things start to push off across the Oklahoma state line. Here I am about noon before that happens. So back that up a little bit. This will be something to watch. We'll see if we get severe thunderstorm warnings and this possible quasi-linear type organization toward the early morning hours tomorrow. So looking at the rest of our area, we're not out from under it either. This is your Saturday morning pushing toward noon. Light scattered showers up and down I-49, but I think a lot of us, especially on the southern edge, getting down toward Lamar, Carthage, down toward Joplin, you're going to hear some thunderstorms, possibly waking you up Saturday morning, starting off your holiday weekend. So what happens after that? This wave pushes through. Looking at Saturday, it's just hit and miss. Scattered showers. Some of us don't get anything through the day Saturday. Looking towards Saturday night, if anything is going to give us severe storms, this is going to be it. So I'm looking now at 10, 11 o'clock Saturday night, headed over into Sunday. And these storms just grow up. They bloom out here in central Kansas, Salina, Wichita. They start to move west to east once again. These are the ones we're going to be watching. I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of warnings drop for some of these cells. So our predominant threats are going to be wind, possibly some hail. And again, heavy downpours, and we're going to talk about rain amounts in just a second. So overall, the trend is really, actually, if you want to know, it's south of 18 Highway, where that cuts through Bates County, for example. That is the heaviest of the rainfall. Everything is south of I-70. Things continue to move really, really heavy down around Joplin. I'll show you rain amounts, but 18 Highway is kind of where the gradient sets up. So let's look at that data, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Here comes revised possible rain amounts. Here we go. So more rain on the way. Like I said, Kansas City, you're not even out from under it. You're looking at 1.25 inches, possibly to 1.5 inches. Over at KCK, 1.5 inches for sure. If we just go down the I-49 corridor here on the Missouri side, we're into almost 5 inches by the time that we get through Vernon County. So 4.5 possibly around Nevada. Out towards Clinton, up towards Harrisonville, Holden, you guys are right on the edge of the gradient, right? So you may get out from this whole thing looking through Monday night with nothing more than 1.25 inches, maybe 1.5 inches. But it is really going to pick up. Just imagine Bates County split in half to the south, where we're going to see 4 inches. But look what happens down here around Joplin. This is hard to believe. Over 7 inches with 7.5 out to the east of Joplin. So that's the bullseye right now. That's what we're going to be watching. Heads up to you folks down there. Again, this is looking all the way through Monday. It's going to be that Saturday night kickoff, overnight Saturday and Sunday, that I think really does the most of that. If you're not affected by the rain, if you're going, well, that just doesn't hit me, it's just going to be a cool weekend wherever you are. These are tomorrow's highs. I only see 66, 67 up in Kansas City. Warm spot will be 72 down in Fort Scott, Nevada. And we all get a degree or two cooler, at least for Sunday. Sunday's high up in Kansas City, 60 degrees, and 67 being the warm spot down in Fort Scott and Nevada. So bottom line, once again, make sure that you have ways to receive weather alerts. It just is that time of year. Not looking for things to be overly severe. I think we do get a few warnings out of it, some special weather statements for sure. I'm looking at tonight and then again tomorrow night. We'll go through it day by day. We'll go through it hour by hour if we have to, one step at a time. So, hey, in the meantime, it is Friday night. It is a holiday